Hi, Bina. What's up, YouTube? Bina and I are here today doing a little plumbing project. I got a secondary sump pump for my basement crock. Our sump pump that's in there is just fine. There's nothing wrong with it, but they don't last forever, and I don't ever want a flooded basement. So while I was at it, I wanted to hook it up to my small solar system setup and see if I can't save myself some money on my electric bill. There's going to be some experimenting involved. I've already done a couple of things. I ran the sub pump that's in there off of an extension cord to my solar setup, and it draws it down pretty good. So I don't know if it'll make it through the night. We're going to find out. That thing beeps like crazy, so I don't want to wake up in the middle of the night to a beeping inverter, but whatever, it is what it is. I'll see what I can do to save some money. But right now I've got a sub pump, I've got a little flexible section here in case I need to flex it in there. I got a Y, so that today's plumbing is brought to you by the letter Y. Anyway, that's gonna go in there like so that I can run one sub pump up here and one sub pump up here. The issue with doing that is that you need two flow check valves. This will only let the water go one way. There's a little arrow on there somewhere. Boy, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to. Oh, is that it? Yep. Right there, there's an arrow. Yeah, there we go. Almost. Anyway, that's the way the water goes. So, and bought a threaded end. Goes into there. And I will show you guys how to use the cement and purple primer. Always make sure you use the purple primer. It like softens up the plastic of the PVC so that the cement actually like fuses with the plastic. And man, I think it's rated for like 160 psi or something crazy like that. I think your pipes will break before this does. But I have to take this check valve out that goes down to the original sump pump. Let me grab my flashlight and get that out of there. Ooh, that's bright. So we're gonna take that one out, and I'm gonna use the extra pipe off of it right here to, and that's bright. I'm gonna use that extra pipe to run it down to the other one. You'll see what I mean once I get it all going. Just stick with me and we'll get it done. Hope you guys don't mind. I grabbed myself a seat. When you're putting this stuff together, grab some sandpaper, and if there's any burrs on the inside, you want to take those off. That'll help with water flow, but if you've got a bunch of little, sometimes it'll get like this little fuzz that sticks off, and then it'll collect junk, and it can actually even clog your pipes. You don't want that. I'm going to clean up the outside here a little bit. Some sandpaper, I don't know. This is 60 grit. It's just what I grabbed. But yeah, now the edge is broken, so that'll go into stuff easier. It'll sit down inside of this better, and you want to cut these as square as possible. It doesn't have to be perfect, but the more square you get it, the better it's going to fit your fittings. Now, we're going to wipe that off. Make sure it's good and clean. Wasn't too bad. We're going to wipe the inside of this, and then with our primer, the purple primer, we are going to go around the outside of the pipe, just like that. Going to do the inside of the fitting, yep, just like that. Come back here, we'll hit the pipe again, we'll clean up in the fitting there. Now when you put these together, oh, we gotta put the glue on there first. I got ahead of myself. That happens, man. There we go. So now we're going to do this in the same order. We're going to put some of this glue on the pipe. We're going to put some of this glue in here. We're going to put some more glue on the pipe. Now, when we put them together, you want to make sure it goes all the way together. Oh, all the way together. Give it a little quarter twist. See, it's going to want to push back out of there. You got to hold it. See, watch, if I let loose, see how it pushes back out? I'm not doing that. You want to hold it in there. And this is where we tell each other stories. And I ask you to hit the like button. And I tell you, it's a pretty good idea to subscribe and hit the notifications bell so that you'll know when I release more videos. And I bet you'll see more Bina. And we'll do more crazy projects like this. And it'll be a grand time. Alright, we got that all glued up. When you put it on there, after you hold it for a second, take a look around inside of it and make sure that the purple stuff goes all the way around. That's a good sign that you've got a good seal. You can see where I wiped it right there. There was a little glob in there. I didn't like it, so I wiped it off with a towel, and now I know nothing will get gunked up in there. So I have the flow check valve. Again, see the arrow imprinted on there? I know it's really hard to see. I'm trying to get it in the light there. It's black on black, so it's tough to see. But make sure that's going the direction you want it. This end is going down in the sub pump, and this end, the water's going out. So we're going to put that on there. Again, make sure the pipe is cut square so that this can go on there nice and square. Oh, I'm sure you guys just noticed that it just bottomed out on there. That's exactly what I want. Straight blade screwdriver. I could have used a shorter one. It would have been a little easier. There's that one. Make sure it's tight on your check valve. Oh yeah, it's not going anywhere. I have to let this end set up a little bit more before I put it down inside of the water there, where the sump pump is. So I'm going to let that set for a minute and grab my saw and get ready to cut this other pipe. I'll be back in a minute, guys. Here to remind you to use your stuff. You might recognize this from the other day in my bug out bag. You don't need all sorts of fancy doodads and thingamabobs to get a job done. Use what you got. Yeah, that's pretty square. It's not going to win any prizes, but this is that fuzzy stuff I was talking about earlier. Just take our sandpaper here. the fuzzies are gone. I'll clean that up a little bit better because it's going to get glued. So that one is going to go inside of there. Our piece that we just built, it's going to go on top of there, well, in there, and then out the main line. Then we just have one more of these to build. That's going to go into here and into the secondary sub pump. And the secondary sub pump, I put 2 bricks down inside of the crock to raise it up to another level. So if the first sub pump fails, the second sub pump will kick in once the water reaches that level. It's a little bit tricky. I'll show you down inside the sub pump, or down inside the crock, so that the float on the sub pump, this part here that activates it, it can't get hung up on anything, or your sub pump isn't going to do anything. Or if it doesn't come back down properly, your sub pump will just run and run and run and run and burn itself out. And then you just wasted a whole bunch of money and time and effort. Nobody wants that. Alright guys, I got her all piecemealed together here. I'll give you a quick rundown of it. Look at that. So this pump over here, this one's up on top of 3 bricks. So it sits at a different level than the original one way down there. And the original one, the plunger goes up and down on a little bar underneath this. So that's not going to get stuck on anything. I got to get these wires out of here. But this float works different. My only concern is that it gets stuck on top of there and it doesn't turn off. So we're going to find out what it takes to get it to turn on here in a second. But you'll see there's a check valve on this one and a check valve on this one. They aren't meant to do an angle like this. I might have issues with that in the future. I'm probably going to pick up a couple fittings at the hardware store on my way home from work tomorrow and see what I can't do about that. But yep, it goes right up here, right up out the wall, and there's a flexible boot on there. I might have to secure this somehow, but we'll worry about that when the time gets there. For now, I'm going to send you guys over to keep an eye on the solar power stuff while I turn on the new pump, because the water's starting to get pretty deep in there. The old pump should have already kicked on, but I unplugged it so that I could get this work done. I'm going to go through and always double check your work. I'm going to make sure that these guys are all, yep, see? I'm going to make sure they're all good and tight, and I'll be back with you in a second. You guys can keep an eye on the power for me while I run the pump. Dina was just talking it over with me, and maybe we better run the pump and find out if we have any leaks before I try messing with the solar. Good thinking, Bina. Here goes nothing. If you guys see any leaks, let me know. Pump 1. Check. Alright guys, drum roll. Here goes the sub pump. It draws a lot of power. That one didn't run long. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think, if that's going to make it through the night. I bet you once that fan turns off, it'll go right back up to 13 volts. Close. There's one more thing Dina says I should check down inside of there, and she's not wrong. The float for the new sub pump right here. I want to see if... Nope, that doesn't turn it on. Will it turn it off though? Oh, see? If it sits on top of it... Oh. That turns it on. Goes down, 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 down. If it gets stuck there, that's not good. We gotta make some adjustments here. I think that'll do. What do you think, Bina? These solar panels are not running at full capacity at all. They could be much more optimal. But, yeah. It's only been 5 minutes since the sump pump ran last, and I'm already back up to 14.1 volts. That's not bad. I'll take it as a win.